That's right, folks. Cranking up the heat back to what's normal for this time of year, and then eventually a little bit more than that. We're forecasting highs near 90 degrees for this weekend, something that we're preparing you for. Also going to be some storm chances, but this afternoon, out of the next 5-6 days or so, this afternoon looks like it's the most reliable chance of any rain. If you want to take care of the lawns and gardens, some of us will be able to do it tonight, get that accomplished, whereas others are going to be seeing the return of some showers, which we're seeing some vertical development, getting the clouds nice and tall, which is what we need for these thunderstorms here in Cincinnati. It's 79 degrees, and some of us feel like a little bit closer to the middle 80s. So I'm looking at you, Middletown. It's right now 82 for those air temperatures up that direction, up 75 towards Middletown, 81 over in Hamilton, over in Butler County, and the rest of us still in the upper 70s. But look at this, the feels like temperatures starting to feel a little bit more of the summer-like kind, right? 86 is what we feel like up towards Middletown. Keep in mind it's normal to see temperatures like this. I mean, back to that summer sizzle that some of us know and some of us love. But then what we're going to notice into your weekend is we're cranking up the heat just a little bit more than this. Today we're exchanging, I mean, we're still seeing both, right? The storms, the heat, the humidity. It's just not, we're getting a good taste of each of one of those things. And then by Thursday, Friday, and your weekend, we're exchanging storm chances for that uncomfortable heat and humidity and somewhat dangerous heat and humidity as well. So getting you prepared for the rest of your day today, we are going to see highs into the middle 80s. Depending on those showers and thunderstorms, some of us will struggle to reach that mark. However, I think most of us remain dry with these shower and storm chances into the afternoon. Some of us that do get the storms will get a good inch, maybe inch and a half. We can't rule out some flood alerts like we saw from yesterday, but for today, those temperatures will be dropping back into the 70s and eventually the 60s overnight into your Thursday, which is just looking a little bit drier compared to today and therefore a little bit warmer. 87 tomorrow's forecast high, and you'll see there is a slight chance of a shower towards the heat of the day. But the coverage is just not as impressive to us here and the First Alert weather team. I think most of us are going to remain entirely dry Thursday, Friday, and your weekend. We got to update those storm chances into your weekend as well. So if you have any questions about this forecast, feel free to let me know into the Facebook comments. But let's talk about your weather headlines, which for the next couple of days, it's about that switch from the weekend, this last weekend, in which we saw the comfortable temperatures, comfortable sunshine, however you want to describe it. It was just a little bit below normal with that summer heat. But of course, we've been tracking this return to normal for a while back too. So cranking up the heat and humidity tops your weather story. So the hot and humid weekend, I think the hot, the humid, going to be the top two weather impacts to your weekend plans. But then we also have a few storms possible in that forecast as well. These are heat of the day, bubble up showers and storms that could produce some frequent lightning with that humidity. You'll notice it. But then next week we got greater storm chances that will put a cap on that heat. So this weekend, while it's going to be hot, it's not heat that we haven't seen yet this year. We're forecasting highs in the low 90s and feels like temperatures in the upper 90s. I do want to give you that first alert on how the rest of this week and the weekend for the Cincinnati Open is going to shape up, which yesterday we did get some showers and thunderstorms across the tri-state, and today we're going to notice a couple of those as well. But I'm starting with tomorrow because we're entering a pretty dry stretch, at least for the short term, right? Thursday, Friday, and most of your Saturday and Sunday are looking drier and drier. Hopefully the trend remains to be our friend if you're heading out to the Cincinnati Open. The weekend is going to be hot. Stay hydrated and make sure you lather up the SPF. You guys know what to do. I mean, we rehash it all the time because sometimes heat like this can catch a lot of folks off guard, especially since we are now in August and we can sniff fall, right? It's still summer. We still need to treat it like summer. So take lots of breaks and make sure you check in on your neighbors as well. So that's basically a good summary of how the next 5 days are going to shape up. It's just that return to that summer sizzle near 90-degree highs by Saturday afternoon, and then that'll extend up until Monday because Tuesday of next week is going to be our next best chance for showers and thunderstorms outside of today, of course. So what you're going to notice here on your first alert forecast model over the next hour and some change, we're going to start to notice a little bit of green out there on satellite and radar. Not too big of an impact at this point in time, but you'll notice where we see these showers bubbling up, they're not going to move a whole lot. There's not a lot going on upstairs in the atmosphere that will get these storms trekking across the long area. It's just that those of us that do get the showers will see the shower for a good amount of time. So here's 4 o'clock. Notice that cell really hasn't moved too far away from Hamilton at this point in time. 5, that shifts east just a bit, and then we get into your 6, 7 o'clock hour, and that's when we see the sun starting to get lower on the horizon, and it will take the storm chances with it. It's not until 9, though, that we really start to notice a quiet pattern heading overnight into your Thursday. So I'm showing you the rainfall forecast right here because it does a really great job of showing the range of possibilities, which is a lot of zeros. You can see there, I mean, more zeros than not, that's for sure. There's a possibility, though, that those of us that get those thunderstorms, especially earlier in the afternoon, could see an inch, maybe some more than that. Flood alerts may be needed depending on how these storms behave and how early they're able to bubble up, because once they get going, it's going to be hard to stop them just with that heat and humidity returning back here to the tri-state area. All right, let's see if we have any questions this Wednesday afternoon. JD's asking what the weather is for tomorrow morning and how I'm doing today. I'm doing well, thank you. And tomorrow morning, just a little bit of fog in that forecast and temperatures into the middle 60s, and then the rest of your day tomorrow is going to be about that warm up. Thankfully, no very little storms in the forecast for tomorrow as well. Thank you for tuning in, JD. We'll get right into your heat index forecast, because beyond today's storms, like I've been mentioning all morning long, it's about the heat, right? The return to normal. And normal for this time of year includes days like this weekend in which those feels like temperatures or the heat indices are going to be knocking on the door of 100 degrees. So some of us are going to be at 100, others are still going to be in the upper 90s. It's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, and those showers and storms for the afternoons on Saturday and Sunday are not going to do a whole lot to relieve us of this summer sizzle. So notice that we've got at least the middle 90s for the feels like temperatures each and every day for the next 7 days. It does not include today, Wednesday, but starting tomorrow, that is when the mid 90s for those heat indices are going to park themselves right over the tri-state, and of course bring with it those uncomfortable afternoons. So I know we've been talking about this since the weekend, the return to normal. And it's here. You see it in your 7-day forecast. A forecast high of 86 today, still definitely possible outside of those showers and storms. And then temperatures overnight into Thursday dropping into the mid 60s. But notice as we start dialing up the heat a little bit, we only see those morning lows bottom out in the low 70s. That'll start on Saturday morning. That's when we see temperatures into about the 71 mark, and then towards the afternoon they're able to rebound pretty quickly back near 90 that afternoon. Depending on those storm chances, some of us may reach 90 that afternoon, others will have to wait until Sunday or Monday of next week. Slim storm chances. So what does that mean? That means there is the possibility of some bubble up heat of the day, showers and storms. It's this summer-like pattern in which it's not a washout. In fact, most of us are going to remain entirely dry, but you'll want to have that Fox 19 First Alert weather app at the palm of your hand downloaded, because it will let you know if one of these pop-up thunderstorms is in the area. It'll literally give you a notification there on your phone. So it'll be a good stretch of weather to have the app, as is any stretch of weather, but this one in particular, just because it's hard to predict exactly when these thunderstorms are going to pop up and where. We see it today. We'll see it in the slim storm chances for Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then Tuesday of next week, that is when I'm seeing the greatest chance for more widespread storms. But even then, on day 7 of a 7-day forecast, we see things change often, with it being that far out. We'll let you know if any big changes happen. Of course, don't rely on the slim storm chances over the next 6 to 7 days to water the gardens. It's not going to be a whole lot. In fact, most of us are going to be missing out on the opportunity altogether. All right, no new questions, no new comments, no new concerns into our Facebook comments this Wednesday afternoon. So hopefully you guys are able to stay nice and dry this afternoon. Something we'll be watching for those frequent downpours and frequent lightning with any of these thunderstorms this afternoon. But once again, not everyone's going to get them. But those of us that do, definitely want to have the umbrella at the ready. Definitely want to have a plan B for those outdoor plans as well, just because where we see these storms start to bubble up, they will struggle to lose steam until night begins to fall. And they won't have a whole lot going on to move them around. So where they find their spot, they're going to stay there and we're at least not go far, right? Okay. So right now, the time now is 12:12 this Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to hop off of here. Thanks so much for tuning in this afternoon. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.